What do Peach and Wario have in common? They have stacks of money. I recently replayed Luigi's Mansion, and it got me thinking, which Mario Kart characters have the most money in their wallets? Now, you may be thinking, oh, Vertigo, these guys aren't even real, shut the f*** up. And to that I say, and you clicked on this video anyway, even though you thought it was stupid. So get wrecked. Now, we need to create a list of factors to base each character's wealth status on. My process will follow 3 criteria. Anything related to Nintendo games is fair game. That means we're bringing in Link's Hyrule treasures and Luigi's various mansions over his series. Secondly, assets will be given monetary value and added to their wealth value. If you're stupid, assets are basically everything you own, so simply your house. And thirdly, there's no number 3, just saying 3 sounded better. Also, quick side note, if I miss anything, please don't yell at me. I've spent like 2 weeks on this. I've kind of been dying inside. So let's look at each character and let's see which ones of them are the most wealthy. Starting with the characters that debuted in Super Mario Kart, we have Mario. He works many different jobs, such as a plumber, a doctor, and even a babysitter for his past self, which probably could give him a consistent source of income. From his adventures to save Princess Peach, he also gathers loads of gold coins, which seem to be the currency in the Mario universe. Mario also has a few houses over Paper Mario and Super Mario RPG, and although they aren't lavish, they're still an indication of a comfy standard of living. Luigi gains most of his wealth from his mansions. He hit the jackpot in terms of how much gold he gets from them. He adventures alongside Mario and could gather the gold coins during his adventures, as well as working as a plumber. But I'd argue that he's richer than Mario, and it's not just because he's taller. Princess Peach is literally royalty. She definitely receives taxes from citizens in the kingdom. She most likely inherited her wealth from her family and probably also comes from a grand palace, which would definitely have a large price tag placed on it. The Mushroom Kingdom also has foreign trade relationships with the Sarasa Land and the Bean Kingdom, shown in Super Mario Land and Superstar Saga respectively. She's loaded. Bowser is arguably the richest character in the universe. He owns multiple grand castles, which far outweigh Peach's one castle. Since he rules the Koopa Kingdom, he also would receive tax revenue from his citizens, and he rules the Koopa Troop, which is the biggest army in the Mario universe. He has also previously invaded and conquered many other kingdoms, often taking treasures and their assets and adding them to his own kingdom. This guy is literally Jeff Bezos. I mean, he's also stealing from people just like Amazon does. Toad has a close relationship with Princess Peach, and would probably be paid a lot for being her advisor. He also owns too many Toad houses, which would prove a valuable asset to as well. He also does some of his own adventuring in some of the new Super Mario Bros. Games and Treasure Tracker, where he gets coins just like Mario and Luigi. Next up we have the Kong family of Donkey Kong Jr. and Diddy Kong. I've grouped them together because they're practically the same. This family of apes effectively own an island and all of its resources, including a massive banana horde. They have also undergone many adventures, often retrieving many treasures as well as gold, which would definitely add to their wealth status. Yoshi's living the simple life on his island, eating fruit and not earning a sustainable income. He only undergoes the odd expedition or two when Mario and Luigi were babies. He is not rich, but that's alright, because we love him anyway. Koopa has a job as a soldier in Bowser's army, giving a consistent income. In the Paper Mario games, it's shown that Koopa lives in a small village, which doesn't show a large asset wealth. So let's move on to the next game of Mario Kart 64. Mario Kart 64 only adds one new character to look at. Wario. He is mind-bogglingly rich. He runs a business of WarioWare Incorporated, which would create a large revenue from its microgames production. Wario also is shown in his games to have a large castle, and often stores thousands of jewels, gems, gold, and other commodities inside of it. He undoubtedly has a higher wealth status. Mario Kart Super Circuit introduces like literally no new characters, so it's straight on to Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash adds a large roster of new characters, and we start with Daisy. She owns Sarasa Land, which is a large kingdom in Super Mario Land that has many different temples and palaces. Like the other royals so far, she would receive income from taxes as well as from her candy business. She also has confirmed trade allyship with the Mushroom Kingdom, making Princess Peach an economic ally with her. But on the other hand, Birdo seems pretty broke as hell. She has a tiny home, and other than that, doesn't seem to be making any money. The only income she may get is from the Mario sports games, but they don't have a money prize to be won unless you're doing sports betting. Baby Mario and Baby Luigi are literal babies with no assets to the name. I'm not even sure that they're old enough to even own anything. They can't take care of themselves, so many of their assets would belong to Papa or Mama Mario. While Luigi owns an island, he also deals with illegal activities with Wario and assumedly receives a cut in the profits. Bowser Jr. is the heir to the Koopa throne and inherits Bowser's royal wealth. Jr. owns many gadgets and is a general of a small subsection of Bowser's Koopa Troop army. He also lives in Bowser's many castles, which is a further indication of his large wealth. There is not a difference between Koopa and Paratrooper, so he's just gonna go where Koopa was. Petey Piranha is kind of a wild card in the concept of this topic. He's considered to be the ruler over all the piranha plants and is a member of the Koopa Troop, which is an income source. Other than that, though, he doesn't have any form of assets or housing, but he's highly feared, so he's definitely rich in power. King Boo is the initial owner of the haunted mansions that Luigi ransacks and pillages. All the treasures in each mansion belong to him until Luigi commits grand theft. King Boo is also the ruler of the Boo group of enemies, which gives him wealth in the form of power. Also, since these mansions were made by King Boo, it's apparent that he can spawn wealth out of thin air, making him incredibly rich. Toadette seems to have a large influence over the Mushroom Kingdom and has different jobs in various games. In Treasure Tracker, she also adventures with Toad, and would have access to various amounts of treasure. She also works with Princess Peach in various games, such as Paper Jam. Man, Double Dash introduced too many characters. Mario Kart DS starts off the new roster with Dry Bones. He's kind of dead, but he still works under Bowser as a soldier, which gives him some income. He isn't exactly material wealthy, but his immortality is something that would be highly valued, even though it's non-routine. And then we have Rob. I still don't know what went on in Nintendo's head to include this thing. I need to make up a rule on the fly here, because unlike the other characters, Rob was an accessory. I'm just gonna say that his wealth is based off of how many Robs were sold. It wasn't sold too much and was quietly discontinued, so... Shy Guy was probably playable in Mario Kart 7, but he was playable via download play in Mario Kart DS, so he's here. Shy Guys are treasure hoarders, and most likely take part in criminal organizations to get their grabby hands on their many riches. They're also part of the Koopa Troop, which is a form of income. He's also probably hiding a decent amount of wealth under that mask. Mario Kart Wii introduced a few new characters, which we need to take a look at now. Do I even need to say anything for Baby Peach and Daisy? Well, I suppose I should. They don't have a form of income, but unlike Baby Mario and Luigi, they most likely have inherited wealth from their royal lineage, so they're technically more wealthy than the brothers. But we need to take a look at Rosalina. She owns the Power Stars, which are incredibly pricey, and owns a massive space traveling hub. She also has access to the entire universe's resources for herself. Considering no one else is trying to conquer the galaxies, she's incredibly wealthy. Like Bowser, Dry Bowser owns many castles, but doesn't have access to anything else that would cause him to be materially wealthy. Funky Kong is arguably the biggest entrepreneur in the series, owning shops like Funky Flights and Funky's Flying By. Funky Kong is often depicted as a chill surfer, which indicates that he's living comfortably and potentially quite well off. I'm not going to include the Mii's because they're kind of just the average viewer, and I don't know how wealthy each of my average viewers are. Mario Kart 7 starts off with the controversial character of Metal Mario. Do I consider him as monetary wealth? Maybe only if he sells part of his metal body, or he would have a bit of money in his bank account, but until selling limbs is legal, this guy is not wealthy. Honey Queen is the ruler of the Honey Hive Galaxy, which means that she's royalty. I would say that she could place taxes on her people, but I don't think bees are capable of paying taxes. She has access to all of the honey, starbuds, and other treasures in her galaxy, which definitely means that she's not exactly the poorest, but her galaxy does not have much otherwise. Wiggler is depicted as a gardener, and sometimes a form of transport in the form of Flutter. He has access to natural riches, but not actual material wealth in the form of houses or cold hard cash. Lakitu is the main character in charge of Mario Kart filming, and is thought to have been the owner of Mario Kart TV, which is a large business. Lakitu can also spawn pretty much infinite of any resource in his cloud, which includes coins if you're playing Super Mario Maker. Now we have to move on to the most recent game. Mario Kart 8 is the final game that I'm going to take a look at, because I don't deem Tour as official. Mario Kart 8 introduced many new characters that were reskinned, such as Tanuki Mario and Cat Peach. Both of these characters are the same as their non-animal counterparts, so I'm not going to include them. Pink Gold Peach, similar to Metal Mario, could only be considered wealthy if she sold part of her body. She would be richer than Metal Mario because gold is worth more than steel or whatever metal he is. Baby Rosalina, unlike the other baby princesses, could not inherit wealth as a baby. Her backstory specifically states that she was raised in the Mushroom Kingdom as a child, which implies that she hadn't inherited wealth yet. All 7 Koopalings are practically the same as one another. They were raised by Bowser and have access to his wealth, but to a lesser extent than Junior, due to them not being the heir to the throne. Pauline is the mayor of New Donk City and runs the government of the city. This means that she taxes her city. Since she's a mayor, she would have ownership of high-valued real estate, and she's also a politician, and most politicians make a lot of money. I mean, just look at the US candidates. Peachhead is really just Toadette with a crown on her head, so I'm just going to say that she's the same value as Toadette with an extra magic crown. Now we're stepping into the characters that aren't of Mario Origins. Let's kick it off with Inkling. Inkling is a competitor in the Turf Wars or other ranked competitions, which is a way of earning stacks of money. The Inklings also have their own houses in the Inkopolis. Villager has the potential to be extremely rich, depending on how developed their city or island is. They have access to real estate over all the games and build their infrastructure throughout each Animal Crossing game. Villager is also the mayor of each town that they own, which gives a large wealth and influence. However, I'm gonna average this stuff out and just place them here on the tier list. Isabelle is employed by Tom Nook to help run each Animal Crossing game, which is a form of income. She would also have access to the town's resources, and she plays a massive role in the Animal Crossing economy, but she doesn't have any physical assets that are shown in the game. Link is a treasure hunter, and has many expensive and rare artifacts in each Zelda game. He also has access to various types of real estate. Furthermore, his weapons and gear are definitely high in asset value. So yeah, that's all of the Mario Kart characters in the context of each one's wealth. Here's the final tier list. If you have any disagreements with it, post them in the comments and explain why. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed, drop a subscription. It would really help out me a lot. And join my Discord server, which is in the description below.